Hello everybody, my name is Brady and we are back with another React video, and today we're going to be checking out MapMen. This has been highly recommended to me. I've been asking about geography related creators and this has been a big suggestion, so I'm going to check out their most recent video because that only makes sense. It's called The Mystery of the Squarest Country, which is an interesting subject. I'm not sure what the squarest country is. I'm trying to think of like potential candidates. Like we have in Europe, like France is a little bit like it's a bit wonky around the edges, and then I think about like Spain, but like then it's got Portugal like dug into the Iberian Peninsula, so that kind of like takes it out of contention. Like I want to think about United States because like the U.S. has all these like rectangles in the West. We got like New Mexico. That's a really good one. But like those wouldn't count in our modern understanding of countries. So I have no idea. So I'm curious to see how this will play out. Let's learn what the squarest country is.
Someone's emailed us asking which country's shape is most like a square.
What a stupid question.
Totally pointless.
Yes and no.
No.
Georgia?
No. Bangladesh.
No, Bangladesh looks like a wizard.
You think everything looks like a wizard. Ghana.
Too long.
North Macedonia.
Too round.
Liberia.
No.
Poland?
Malaysia.
Jay, Malaysia is not a square.
But there must be one somewhere.
Not in Oman or the UAE. And Yemen's more a rectangle.
Yes, I can see.
Russia's nothing like a square.
Too long, as far as I'm aware. Mali starts off strongly, but right here it goes to pot.
Burkina Faso.
Oh my god. Sorry. Let me just go back a sec. I just realized they're rhyming. I didn't realize what this was gonna be. So now I'm kind of getting the vibe. Before they break out into some sort of a musical performance, I would like to acknowledge that I am very easily charmed by the British style of humor. It's not hard to charm me with that sort of thing. It's kind of like the Monty Python effect, where you take things that like on the face are maybe like slightly funny, and then you just go all in on them, and suddenly like it's hilarious. I don't know. It's just something about that humor, like taking simple things and just taking them too far. I'm very excited about this.
Not in Oman or the UAE. And Yemen's more a rectangle.
Yes, I can see.
Russia's nothing like a square.
Too long, as far as I'm aware. Mali starts off strongly, but right here it goes to pot.
Burkina Faso is irregular. Four-sided, it is not.
Italy's a boot.
And so is Papua New Guinea.
What about Benin and Togo?
No, they're both far too skinny.
What about these little countries? Costa Rica, Lebanon?
There's no square in Singapore, Brunei, Mauritius or Gabon.
Kuwait looks like a little thumb, Madagascar looks quite lean,
Burundi looks quite like a heart, Qatar looks like a bean,
India's a diamond and Slovenia's a splot,
Cuba's very long and thin and both Koreas are short and squat.
Mozambique has got too many sides, Uzbekistan's plot.
Cuba's
Hold on.
very long and thin and both Koreas.
I don't know what they're like considering a square, if it's like if they want it to be like actual flat borders, because that's going to be hard to find. You might be able to find like flat borders on one or two sides, but like you're not going to get a whole lot of luck having it all the way around. South Korea, a little. It's not flat, but like it's a little bit square-ish. It's not great. It's not the best example, I'm sure.
Are short and squat.
Mozambique has got too many sides, Uzbekistan as well. Little Paraguay's no paradigm, Mauritania's an L.
And Malawi's like a seahorse, Guinea-Bissau's a weathered rock, and Nauru's nearly a circle, and Somalia's a sock.
France is famously a hexagon, that fact is quite well known, but it's not the only one, it's joined by Sierra Leone.
What about these landlocked countries like Nepal or South Sudan?
They're not square, and nor are Denmark, Finland, China or Iran.
Luxembourg's are all squares, which their borders don't reflect, and Australia's a cat.
What does
dog.
Poland
Japan
look
we
like?
must reject.
Guatemala has two squarish
swear it's kind of
bit in
square.
the north, but it won't meet our criteria because it needs a third and fourth.
Timor-Leste
Doesn't pass the test.
Moldova, Guinea.
Don't be silly.
Little Rwanda.
Doesn't stand a hope in hell.
Nor does Israel.
Are we seriously going to go through every country?
Yes, I think it's important. Both the USA and Canada have squares in large amounts, but we're only counting countries and states don't count.
Yeah, in
USA.
I don't see any squares in Canada. Like I see things that are squared in Canada, but those are firm rectangles. We have a lot of rectangles in the US, but like they're a little less. Like how tall their rectangles are, I think that would disqualify them. Like we have some that are a little bit closer to squares. In like an older interpretation of what countries were, like the US used to consider themselves a united but separate. So at a time we might be able to include the United States, the individual states, but not in our current understanding. But damn, there are so many close ones.
And Canada have squares in large amounts, but we're only counting countries and states don't count.
Poland would look like a square if it invaded to the south. Kazakhstan looks like a turtle with a leaf stuck in its mouth.
Despite a square's efficiency, the Germans don't come close.
And Peru is like a resting dog, Guyana's like a ghost.
Ethiopia and Switzerland look like potato wedges.
Norway, Sweden and New Zealand all have far too crinkly edges.
If you have a lot of coastline, then your sides will not be straight. So the squareness of the Philippines, Greece and Ireland would be great.
Tajikistan's quite funky, as is elephant head-shaped Thailand. There's no square in Indonesia's 18,000 tiny islands.
If your country's made of islands, then a square you'll never be. There are loads of island nations that are mostly empty sea.
Does it count if you have colonies? I'm thinking about that because there are plenty of countries that have like land that like crosses the ocean. Does that like destroy your potential of being a square? Even if you're like a perfect square, you're not, because your country expands beyond the ocean. Now you're just you're a square with a dot all the way over there. So you can't fully be a square in like the greater view of your nation. Unfortunate. I assume that's how it's working. Like colonies have to ruin things.
Trinidad and Tobago, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, the Solomon Islands, the Seychelles, the Maldives, Micronesia, Fiji, the Marshall Islands, St. Kitts and Nevis, Sao Tome and Principe, the Bahamas, Cape Verde, Tonga, Vanuatu.
The Netherlands is flat, although its edges do not fit. And the following are countries with a sticky outy bit. There's Afghanistan, Namibia, the DRC's got two.
There's Ukraine, Venezuela, Eritrea, Cyprus,
Peninsulas and
Is Morocco square?
No, it's more a stare.
Kiribati?
Not square, alas.
Senegal?
Not square at all.
San Marino?
San Marino.
The CAR so near so far, Botswana's like a flounder.
Chad looks like Jay Leno, Eswatini couldn't be rounder.
Mongolia looks like a bat, the Congo's kind of foxy.
Myanmar's like a genie and not even slightly boxy. Belize has one edge here that's straight, but this bit's rather lumpy.
Algeria and Kenya are pentagons, Honduras is too bumpy.
That's close.
Like a raindrop, Kyrgyzstan's a bird in flight.
What was that? Kenya? Like that one was kind of close.
While Iraq and Jordan's lines are straight, the angles just aren't right. Colombia's kind of squarish, though its borders are quite rough. And Iberia would pass, but Spain alone's not square
That's almost
enough.
perfect.
Bolivia expanded, then a square it just might be. Nicaragua would look square if you viewed it in 3D.
Little Liechtenstein and the Argentines are not square in the least.
The Dominican Republic, that just tapers to the east. Lesotho sort of squarish, but the angles on the...
Oh, that's close.
Is like a chicken with a huge badonkadonk.
Mexico?
No.
Portugal?
Too thin, too tall.
The Saudis?
Too much on a slant.
The Vatican?
The Vatican.
Listing
Okay, I have to recognize that it's so hard to write entertaining educational music. There are people who do it and do it well, but my God, it is so hard. So I really respect this. Like, it's so easy for it to be corny and like for like the teaching element of it to take away from the entertaining element. I think a lot of the time good educational music has to be good as like standalone music. Even if it's like in the realm of like comedy music like this, like it leans into comedy music, but as like standalone comedy music, it's pretty darn good. Like even if nothing else they did had an educational bend to it, this would be a good standalone comedy song.
every country by its shape is not an easy job, when inevitably loads of them look only like a blob.
So to make things more efficient, as I'm sure you've got the gist, here are all the blobby countries in a quick compiled list.
Andorra, Antigua and Barbuda, Austria, Barbados, Belgium, Belarus, Bhutan, Bosnia and Herzegovina, Cambodia, Czechia, Djibouti, Dominica, Estonia, Grenada, Hungary, Iceland, Latvia, Lithuania, Romania, Serbia, St. Lucia, Tanzania, Uruguay, Zimbabwe.
Sama's like a butterfly whose wings have been removed.
But at Ecuador and Bahrain, and it's massively improved.
Little Monaco's so tiny you can see the piers within.
Chile's very, 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 very long and thin.
Uganda cannot be a square.
A lot of these blobby countries, one thing to say is like those are slightly more natural borders. A lot of flat borders you'll see are the result of conflict or conflict resolution. A lot of countries that feel less geometrically rational just kind of expanded a little bit more naturally, I suppose. When you have those hard lines, you either have like a geographic boundary, or like it's very possible that is the product of a conflict.
Where because of all the legs, the Gambia, Vietnam...
Not always, but a lot of the time.
Haiti, Croatia and Zambia all have shapes that wrap around. Syria's just a bit too slopey and El Salvador's too long.
That doesn't rhyme.
Palau looks like a jellyfish, Pakistan looks like a duck.
Azerbaijan looks like a bird that's been run over by a truck.
This monkey is Armenian.
This shooting star's Laotian.
Jamaica, Malta and Niger are creatures from the ocean.
Greenland's not a real country even though it's really big.
The UK looks like an old witch sitting sideways on a pig.
Comoros would if it were glued.
Some parts of Tuvalu look rude.
Turkmenistan looks like something or another.
Tunisia and Albania look like each other.
South Africa's too wobbly, Bulgaria's too knobbly, Brazil is too triangular, Turkey is too rectangular. Now the only countries left are ones whose squareness are the best.
If you know which ones are coming, we're incredibly impressed.
Okay, so I feel like there's at least some in Africa that slipped under my radar, because like Africa, like a lot of its borders are the results of some conflict, significant conflict, and a lot of them were drawn like later on, so it's very possible that a lot of that would try to conform to like rational, and I put that in big quotes, shapes for their borders or whatever, like it possibly, but I don't know. I'm not sure. So who's left? Wait, they said Poland, right? I'm pretty sure they already got rid of Poland. Damn, I'm not really sure. It must be in Africa. It really has to.
Little Montenegro square if you rotate it some degrees.
South Sudan has left behind a very square North Sudanese.
That's a pretty good
Angles
one.
in Angola mean it's nearly good to go. And Nigeria comes close although it bulges down below.
Libya is nearly square, it's more a parallelogram.
And Cote d'Ivoire and Suriname do well in...
Oh, those are both good.
Equatorial Guinea's very square, but unfortunately, since
It's almost
on
perfect.
an island, then the squarest it can't be. So the winner of our contest, fitting all our tight prescriptions,
It's the squarest of the squarest.
the nation of the pharaohs,
The land of Cleopatra.
the country where the Sphinx is. It's the land
Really?
of the Egyptians.
Okay. Hold on. Okay, fine. It does have the flat borders on two sides, which is rare. Like every once in a while, you get like a mostly flat. Like we got a little thing on the top left, but like the bunny ears we got going on in the body of water to the right, and that is a little bit wonky. You gotta admit. But the top is forgivable. It's just the right, really. So I guess it does have three pretty decent sides, which most countries you can't say for it. That one a second ago that had like its city off to the side, like that one was damn near perfect. If it didn't have its city on an island, then it would have been better. But okay, fine. I'll concede. Egypt's pretty square relative to other countries.
Egyptians.
Any more interesting emails come in?
There's one asking for every capital city in the world.
Oh, that would have made a much better song.
Next on the Day After Yesterday programme, Professor John Whitstable joins us to discuss the life and work of Noel Edmonds.
Finally, a topic I'm really interested in.
Professor, good morning. Good morning. I'd like to start with Noel's first television appearance.
Okay, so this is clearly an ad, but he clearly put a lot of effort into this ad, so I'm going to watch it. If you want to skip it on my video, you can. Just make sure you feel bad about it. I'm curious to how... I like watching educational creators how they make their ads, because there's a lot of really creative ones.
On Swap Shop in 1976.
What? No, it wasn't. It was Top of the Pops in 1972.
Swap Shop was, of course, one of Edmonds' most influential works.
Excuse me? Are you listening? I said it was Top of the Pops.
And was this the show that made Edmonds a household name on ITV? Yes, it was.
No, it wasn't. Noel Edmonds never had a show on ITV.
I don't think he can hear you.
And apologise.
Of course, Noel Edmonds went on to play Captain America in
He's
the Marvel.
trying. This is really good.
Hello? You're talking rubbish. Can anyone hear me?
True. That's fascinating, Professor, and I wonder if...
Hello?
Oh, hello there. I'm just calling to find out if you're happy with your current audio listening platform.
Well, actually, I'm not. I've been talking to my radio and it's been completely ignoring me.
Would you like to hear about a new app called Stereo that lets you
Stereo,
join in the
yeah.
discussion?
Okay.
Well, yes, I would.
So Stereo is a completely free app that you can download onto your phone, and you can listen to live conversations happening between people from across the world, and you can actually leave your own comments for them to listen to and play out.
That sounds great. Can I broadcast my own conversations too?
So you can actually broadcast your own conversations as well, either by scheduling a chat with a friend, or the app will randomly place you with another Stereo user, and you can just start chatting and broadcasting immediately.
Oh, that sounds
Great way
scary.
to meet new people.
So to get started, all you do is download the Stereo app and
Meeting new
create your own
people is
avatar.
scary.
You can accessorize that too if you like.
Can I have a halo and a monocle?
Yeah, absolutely. You can have a halo and a monocle. Just put that through for you now.
So any shows you'd recommend?
So we're currently recommending a show called Map Men Get Lost. That will be on at 6:30 p.m. today.
Okay.
That's 12th of April 2021. It's a great
like
opportunity to
podcasting,
ask the Map Men
basically.
any questions you might have.
From a distance.
So if you'd just like to click on the link
So it's
in the description
podcasting.
below, that'll take you straight through to the show. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Anything else I can help you with today?
No thanks. I'll download Stereo immediately. Bye. Now, how do I find the App Store?
It's on your phone, stupid.
If you could plonk the
Okay, that was a really fun video. Like as far as like making educational but humorous music, it was top notch. Their dynamic is really good. Like it's that kind of quirky British humor that I really enjoy. Like some of my favorite movies have that quirky British humor, and not just my favorite Monty Python films. Like a lot of my favorite films that have historical themes. Like I love the movie The Death of Stalin, and it's also kind of got a pretty British approach to humor, and it kind of their approach reminds me of like a lot of British comedy teams that I've seen in the past. So I like that they have that style so naturally. It's really cool. And those Flight of the Conchords vibes are also like totally there. That New Zealand comedy rock band, like they're really good. So like that's high praise from me, because I really respect those guys. So this was really cool, and it makes me curious about checking out more of their stuff. I want to learn from like these creators who have like this really unique approach to educational content, and I'd like to be a better creator than I am today. So like following people like this, I might learn a thing or two. All right. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys tomorrow with another video. All right.